Alright everybody, thanks for joining me on the live stream for SyllaFX. So it is November the 10th and it is the Asian session. We just started about half an hour ago, so we're going to go through a few of the different currency pairs and see if we have any potential trades to take during the Asian session. If not, then we'll just do some market analysis, do a little bit of recap of what happened today during the New York session, and set up some potential trades for the London session coming up this evening. So again, it is Thursday the 10th of November and we are on the Asian session, guys. So we are going to jump in and take a look at a few different things and see what we got going on as far as some trades we might be able to set up, or look for some areas to actually jump into a trade. This over a little bit. A lot of movement earlier today, right at market open. Let's see, was that what, 8:30? That was definitely news, and I think there was U.S. news that came out. I'm pretty sure. Forex Factory. Yeah, 8:30 a.m. So I wouldn't have been placing any trades at that time anyway. So all that movement, wow. But it would have been nice to catch that kind of a movement, but it doesn't fit into my strategy. So definitely rolls it all the way up though. Let's see, at least from this level all the way up to the next high. Almost 200 pips, wow. During just the first couple of hours. About 200 pips movement there. Wow, that would have been nice. So before all of this movement, this is what I was looking at previously. Since we were still moving up in the price, I was looking at some bounces here. I think I've actually talked about this before on the last market analysis I did. I mean, as far as the New York session today, I wouldn't have been trading anyways because of the news that came out. Would have been waiting at least until like 9:30 or 10 to set up any trades, because all of this movement was primarily just in that 15 minutes here. It's quite a bit, pretty fast movement. So, but outside of that, let's take a look at our levels and see if they still apply here. Take this off here. So that's about, I think this level will still apply as a major support. Another support, and I'm not sure that this would technically still be there. What is that level from? Maybe another high here? Yeah. So we broke above it a little bit, and it seems to be bouncing down a little bit from that. Yeah. So for the most part, I would still say that this level actually holds. It may just be a fake out here since prices pretty much closed below the major resistance level up there on the hourly chart. So what I would probably look for, depending on how fast the action happens, if we can move down just a little bit more, see something like this, and then coming back up to reject here and get a nice movement coming back down. So that's what I'm looking at as far as a potential entry zone here. So I'll mark this up as maybe about this level is where I would take a sell. A little bit, so maybe right around here. If we get this type of movement, close it down a little bit, maybe bounce off of this area, comes back up to reject up here, gives us the confirmation of the rejections, and then potentially have a sell position here. 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. Stop loss would probably be about 20 pips, aim for about 40. 50 is not bad on there too. That would put us right at this low here. This may be a good area that I will be looking for the London session, depending on what movement we see. We'll let that run for just a bit here before we take a look at another currency pair. Not in any rush to take any trades right now. We're just kind of doing market analysis to see what's happening for any potential trades. So I wanted to kind of check out to see if there's any football games, or Thursday night football is just the Falcons and the Panthers, so not too much going on on that. I might jump into that in a few here once I'm done with the analysis and see what we got going on, if anything, for this evening. But we'll see. So yeah, I mean, as far as like the euro dollar, pretty much simple movement here, just playing off of the major resistance level on the 4-hour chart. See if we get some price to come down a little bit and come back up to reject that area to confirm that it's wanting to come down. If we get at least that, then we know at least we're not creating a new high. Maybe get some type of a head and shoulder pattern here. High here, break above, come back down. Another high here to match up with this one. As long as we get the confirmations for the rejections, then we'll be looking at some sell positions here. Maybe a good way to go. But euro dollar, that's about all for now. Let's take a look at the dollar yen and see what happened. That was a big plummet. I bet this was a lot more pips than the euro dollar too. Let's see, and this is what, at 8:30 as well? Yeah. Look at that. Let's see, how much is that already? 60, 200, 300, 400. 400 pips right there. Wow. I mean, if anybody trades the news and was able to catch something like this, it's been a pretty good day for you, but I don't trade the news. So unfortunately, I miss out on all these moves, but it's for a reason. It doesn't fit in my strategy, and risking a lot trading those. Bad news all the way. That skyrocketed the euro value and plummeted the dollar value, so yeah, all bad news across the board. I mean, this one is not. Oh, well, yeah, that's unemployment claim, so yeah, it's bad. So if you do play on the news, you could potentially see bad news coming across the whole way and selling off on the value there. But let's see if we got any new potential trades here. Looks like we're gonna try to make our way back up. Now, usually when you see something like this, there's always going to be a market correction for price to come back at least halfway up, potentially to make up for all of this plummet here. So as far as the dollar yen, I think we're looking for buys. Yeah, at least for now, buys to come back up, coming above that candle open. Got a resistance level here. What is that one from that? Yeah. So rejection here, so at least we're gonna get to this part before it starts rejecting again, potentially move back down a bit. I mean, it matched up this rejection like perfectly almost here. Look at that. We got a new bottom. Yep. So that's what we're working with right now. We're pretty much in the middle between those two zones, so no entry right now to actually take, but areas to be aware of. Nice rejection here. Continue back up. I'm expecting at least some type of resistance at this point. So if we do look for a buy position at any moment here, which actually I would see potentially, depending on what happens at the London Open, this is what I would be looking at here. Right there. And what type of window are we working with here? Wow, is that really 140 pips? Yeah, the market was moving today, so got quite a bit of open space to make some money here on this. So yeah, I would pretty much be waiting for price to come down into this level here and potentially reject. This is more of a supply and demand trade here, where you have a little bit of a consolidation going on. Price is moving on up, so I'm hoping we get price to move back down into that zone, that demand zone here, and give us a confirmation. Always want the confirmation for the rejections. As long as we get that, we got a potential buy position there. Stop loss, this would have to be pretty tight, to be honest, because this is wide. 40 pips, but I mean the potential is there for a 1 to 3 still, all the way up to that level. I mean, pretty big stop loss though, more than what I would typically trade, but it may be worth it on this one. We'll kind of see what price does once the London session comes around. As of right now, I mean that's what we're looking at, a potential buy position at this level for the dollar yen and euro dollar. Yeah, looking for sells. So kind of the same thing that we saw in a reverse pattern here. It's going up, we're looking for buys, and going down, come back from these highs and make up some of this gap here, looking for sells. Yep. That's what we got so far though. So like for the most part, what we want to be looking at is, as far as the actual retracement from all that dip on the dollar yen. I mean, now I don't typically, I don't trade off of the indicators as far as like the Fibonacci, but this is one where you want to take into consideration gaps in the market. When a lot of movement happens like this in a short amount of time, there's always going to be some type of retracement to make up for that gap. It's got to fill that in at some point or another. So with such a rejection here at this main level that we've already hit and that we saw from this 4-hour support here, there's definitely going to be some type of retracement, at least probably up to at least this level here before it starts rejecting back down, if we're going to continue the down movement. So that's what I'm looking at here. I'm only looking for buys. I'm not looking to continue that big drop there. I mean, and this is pretty common, especially like if you have like news event like this all the way back here. There's always going to be some type of market correction to make up for that. Same thing here. Big drop, comes back up. Not all the way, but most of the move back up. That's typically what happens with news events, causing those type of drops on it here. So that's what I'm looking for a retracement to come back up some of the way. But as far as finding the actual entry position, then yeah, we definitely want to have a good position where we can minimize our risk on the trade and get a, not really a sniper entry, but to get a good risk to reward ratio on it and avoid opening us up to much more of a stop loss on that. Yeah, like Mage kind of describing there. Definitely looking for market correction, because the US dollar is going to be in a bullish kind of position for the time being, at least up in this area here. That's where I'm looking at potentially moving up. Just got to find a good entry for that. I mean, this is a pretty big gap, so set this up as a potential zone of resistance there, or support, and then of course the main zone of here. So same thing for the Aussie dollar. Gonna have a bearish movement coming down at least until this level. Ideally, all of this gap has got to be made up for one way or another. It may not happen by tomorrow with the market closure, but definitely got to make up for that type of a movement here. That's what it always does. Same thing here. I mean, like you see this type of movement up, comes back down at least maybe halfway potentially to another support level before it starts moving back up. And the way the news calls that, I mean, I'm pretty confident it's going to break below the support level here once it starts to move back down. So, yep. But as far as actual entry points, let's see what we could potentially have. On the 4-hour, we're trending up, but I don't worry about that because more of a scalping strategy. Got to look at the current movement, not the overall swing movement. I think what would be a good place to take a sell. So I'm not looking for any buys at this point. That was a lot of bullish movement in the Aussie pair here. Not sure of a really clear entry spot that we could really have for the Aussie dollar here. Not much volume in the market right now, so even if we did take a sell here, and we're looking at about 50 pips that I would aim for. I mean, that would be worth it alone there to drive it down at least to the support level on a major time frame. I mean, it's kind of playing out a little bit that way. My only hesitation would be this rejection here. Pretty strong. Well, not pretty strong, but the way it was kind of set up, at least for this specific pair, this is my hesitation here. Even if there was a sell here, I would kind of be hesitant holding it past this without it bouncing up and then potentially coming down afterwards. So maybe if we get something like this, like a movement down into the zone, reject, come back up a little bit to about this area, and then sell off. This would probably be a good place to look at an entry point there. So if we do at least come into the same rejection level here and then get a confirmation to bounce, come back up right around into this consolidation. Not really consolidation, but this is the zone that I would be looking at to take a potential sell if price were to come back up to here. And look at something like this, right above that zone, about 15 pips, aim for about 50. A little bit over 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. That's the setup that I would be looking for a sell here on that. But again, that might not happen until London, and if we get that kind of movement, because after a news event like this and pushes price like this, may not get the correction in the price very fast. Volume may die down, not be all there in London until New York session, and then we'll definitely see some movement. So as far as the dollar, the euro dollar, looking for sells there as well, kind of the same type of layout. Let's have price kind of close out a little bit here, reject off this main resistance level, get the confirmation of the rejections with the wicks. As long as we get that, this would be a good sell here. And then similar here, looking for those buys for price to come back into that demand zone and buy it up for about that. That's 140 pips. 1 to 3, that'd be a lot of movement. On this one, it'll be kind of a wide, a pretty wide stop loss, but it still does fit into the risk to reward ratio. So that's the setup I'm looking for on the Aussie dollar. Let's go ahead and jump into a couple of the other pairs and see what we could potentially have. Pound dollar. I mean, we're kind of all in the same boat on this one here. We're at a major support level. So let's see where that one was set up from. Yeah, from this, it broke above it. I really don't think price is going to continue up from here. I don't think we're going to get that bounce. And as you can see here, it didn't really actually bounce and reject here. It's closing into that zone. So price is likely going to go ahead and keep moving down on that. And then give us kind of a break and retest type scenario. Potentially something like this. Same thing as the euro dollar, to be honest. And reject off of this main support resistance level once it becomes that. And look for a sell. Probably like right around here. Stop loss about, that's pretty wide. Like about 20 pips. As long as we get the rejection wick showing that it wants to come down, then yes, I'll be looking at that. It's a good 1 to 4, really. Pretty easy. That's the setup that I'll be looking for a sell position on the pound dollar. And then there's nothing else really clear on that, because like I said, I don't think we're going to get bounce for it to keep moving up, but instead break below here, retest, and continue to move back down. Let's go over to the Aussie yen. see, even at at the time of the news, what was that? 8:30. Yeah. So, and this is why I don't trade the news, because this spike here can kind of trick you out into thinking, hey, prices breaking these highs, it's gonna keep moving up, just like kind of we saw here. We were moved up above the support level, and it just kept going and kept going and kept going. But with something like the Aussie yen, yeah, you got that spike coming up and broke these this kind of channel highs, but look at that nice rejection, and then just plummets down all the way in to that support level down here. So it's not really, does not really fit into my trading style at all. I stay away from the news, no matter how clear it seems like it is. If you do this on the wrong pair, you can pretty much get eaten alive from something like this. Spike up, plummet down. Yep. But we'll do analysis on this one here in just a moment here, so I'll be back with you guys shortly. Okay, so as far as the Aussie yen, let's take a look at our main levels here and see if there's anything that we could potentially take. I mean, right now we're kind of, as far as the 4-hour chart, we're pretty much in this up and down consolidation in the major time frame. Looks like we're moving up though, so potentially be looking for buys. Got a nice rejection on this one here. So yeah, look for buy positions on here. So let's see if there's any zone that we could potentially look for. Set something up just to keep an eye out and see if there's any good takes that we can take on that here. We did break these levels here, so definitely moving up on that. Honestly, this is what I would be looking for. Price to go well into that zone, give us a confirmation with the rejection wicks. If we get that, then I would have a good valid buy here. If price comes down to that level, of course. So it's kind of where we gotta wait and see what happens. If we do get that rejection into it, get a nice wick. Price wants to continue moving back up. That'd be a good spot to jump in for a buy. Then the pound yen. Let's see what we got here. Major levels. We're breaking those levels. This is probably gonna. This one looks like it's gonna keep going down, to be honest. On the 4-hour time frame, at least. Actually, I think we're at a good rejection level here that we could potentially sell from, as long as we get the rejection. Yeah. Rejected once here. Price came into it. See what it looks like on the 15. One rejection. Got another rejection here. I think this would be a good sell, to be honest. How much are we looking at if we sell at this point? Come down here, 40 pips before it gets to that 50 mark on the resistance, on the support. And if we were to break all the way through it, that'd be even better. Because it did come down and close below it, came back above, bounced. See, that's the thing. When you're playing at a support level like this, you don't necessarily, I mean, this would be kind of a low quality trade where you would be selling towards the support level. But what you could potentially see this is as a break, fake out, and then come back up to retest that level. So basically what you're looking at is price comes all the way down here, gives us the nice rejections, come back up, and then the news makes it spike down. Was this actually the news on the 15 minute? No, the news is back here. So breaks below, closes, and fakes it out, comes all the way back up, closes it back above the support level, and it comes back down. Multiple rejections here. So even though this is a zone that's, you're going to see a little bit of rejection here, which you actually saw right there, and then you came up and saw right there with this white candle here. So if I expand this out a little bit, that's exactly where we saw that rejection. But you see prices continuing to move up into that area. So even though I would consider this a sell here, it would only work to about 40 pips, 40 to 50 pips, and bounce off of here to continue to move it up, because this is basically just a bounce, break, fake out, comes back up and close above, bounce again, and starts moving up. So definitely not taking that one as a buy position or as a sell position, but EJ showing down. So yeah, this may continue up. So even though this is a rejection level here or resistance, I would not be selling towards the actual support level. So kind of want to see what price does. Maybe it'll break above, come down, test, and continue moving up. But that's kind of iffy. It's not really clear on this one, to be honest, because on the 1 hour we're moving down, you know. So I'd be really undecided about this one because the way the movement is happening, lower high, lower high, lower high, high. We haven't created any higher highs yet, so still into buys. I would just be kind of leery of taking it. It's a little bit too late in the movement because we're really close to that support level. This would have been one you would have want to take like up here. So this low that got broken by this movement, came back up to retest it, nice rejection, and come back down to sell off on it. Did the same thing again here, came all the way up to here, rejected, and then sold off again. The only hesitation now, you're kind of late into the movement, into the downtrend, because you're at a major support level now. So this is probably a low quality entry. So no clear position on this one, to be honest with now. So we'll just leave that alone. Yeah, and it closed into that zone. So yeah, let's see what EJ had. EJ is all buys too, you know. Resistance, break, fake out, come back up, bounce, start moving up. Do we have an entry point on this though? Yeah, looking at a lot of market correction to come back up at least into these levels. So I want to be aware of this as an exit point. And for potential buy entries, I will be looking at this area here for price to come back down and retest into it. If we get that, this would be a good buy position there. 18 pip stop loss. Maybe to this level is well over a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio. Could potentially take it all the way up here, 80 pips or so. That wouldn't be bad at all. Yeah. I mean, that's quite a few of the currency pairs that we kind of ran through and see if there's any potential zones to look at for entry points. But like I said, none of this may not actually play out until the London session. So, is there any news coming up around that time? Let's see, Friday 3 a.m., 2 a.m. is a little bit of news, not much. And then 10 a.m. I don't think this is going to cause any movement. So, tomorrow morning would be a pretty good trading day. New York section looks pretty clear. London session looks pretty clear as well. Yeah. Fortunately, no buys right now. So let's kind of just do a recap of all the areas or the zones that we're looking at for the different currency pairs. Euro dollar. Looks like it's actually doing that right now. It's coming back into that rejection or that resistance level up here. So if we can get that rejection, we'll go ahead and actually take these out for now. Move this a little bit closer in. This may be a good place to take a sell. Looks like it's coming back up into that zone. If we get the rejections, it'd be a good sell. Take this out. Dollar yen. Same thing. One price to come back into that zone. Reject. Give us confirmation. Bounce back up. Not a bad demand trade. Supply and demand there. Aussie dollar. We don't have any significant sign of down movement just yet because we still got the high, 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 high. And then this is basically what we're looking for. If price can come down and close below this high here and then come back up to the zone and reject it and show confirmation that it wants to reject, then we'll be looking at a sell position there. This is what I'm looking for there. Yeah, something just like that. We need to see price start moving down to consider it taking sells. It's just all of this movement has got to be a gap to fill. All of this here, it's got to get filled in. So definitely looking for sells, but just got to get a good entry position on that. I wouldn't take it at this point here because it is in that zone now. I would want price to come well down into here and then come back up to reject that level to show that it wants to actually start moving down. Pound dollar. Yeah, we need sign of down movement here to take sales. So this needs to be broken. Come down, like I said here, come back up to retest, and then break down. So that's what I'm looking at on the pound dollar. AJ, come back into the zone, reject, move up. Simple clear and cut. This is trend trading strategy here, pretty simple. Showing the up movement. This high was broken, higher high, higher high. Follow the trend, start buying up. On the pound yen, I didn't see anything clear. I mean, going in consensus with the rest of the currency pairs, as far as the yen pairs, dollar yen, you're looking at buys, but I don't really see a clear picture of a buy position unless price comes all the way back down into this major support level to reject here and then come back up, then potentially, but I'm not too confident that I would be seeing that happen because he's already got the rejections here and it started moving up there. Same thing here, demand trade. Break down into that zone, give us a nice rejection, buy it up. So most of these are buy positions here. We got a couple sales on the euro dollar and the Aussie dollar pairs, but the yen pairs are pretty much buy positions here that we're looking for. So already marked up the zones. We're gonna go ahead and recap here because I don't see any trades that I'm gonna take as of right now. I'm gonna watch some football. But if you guys are interested in learning these trading strategies, whether it's support and resistance, supply and demand, and trend trading, you can definitely visit SyllaFX.com. Course is available there. It's literally $1 right now. If you don't want the course, at least join the free community on the Discord. Chat with different traders, see the market analysis that I provide there. I do offer a private VIP group for the students for live trading sessions, live market analysis, and live Q&A sessions. And they get basically market analysis with the 3 to 6 main pairs that I typically monitor and trade on. They'll get market analysis for the upcoming London and New York session every evening of the weekday on those. So if you guys are interested, like I said, SyllaFX.com and join the group or get the course. Outside of that, I'll go ahead and leave you guys to it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when new content is uploaded. Outside of that, I hope you guys have a good trading evening. See you guys in London and New York.